Hey everyone, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be building an e-commerce website, a fully functioning one that has the checkout cart, this cool checkout experience. We're also going to build out this cool members area for returning customers where they can see their own history, their stored addresses, and their wallets. It will also allow you to take bookings, as well as have a seamless sign up and login experience, and so much more. So the real whole package, everything you'd ever need for an e-commerce website. And we're going to be building this e-commerce website fast without even breaking a sweat. The site is going to be for a coffee shop that takes online bookings and sells their own custom stuff. I did this as I thought it'd be easy to take this project and adapt it to your own custom needs. So if you need a barbershop, for example, or a beauty parlor taking online bookings, you could do it with this tutorial too. Okay, so whether you're selling products, taking bookings, or in general just want a seamless checkout experience, this is the video for you. I'm going to be covering everything you need starting from scratch, and in fact, here's everything that we're going to cover. We will start off by creating our visual sitemap and wireframes. Next, we'll look at creating a sign up and login module, followed by the members area I mentioned, then the actual storefront and store, as well as the backend capabilities, then look at the store categories, followed by the store product cards. Then we'll look at generating privacy policies, shipping policies, refund policies, terms and conditions, and so on. After that, we're going to look at creating the cart page and then the side cart. After all of this is done, I'm going to take you through how booking works. That includes the front end and the back end, followed by the contact form as well. And finally, we'll look at deploying this. Okay, so a lot to cover. Like I said, we're going to be doing this from scratch using Wix Studio and its powerful wireframe templates. So this is a no-code tutorial. However, if you want to take this project to the next level and use your code knowledge, if you have any, I'm going to show you how to edit these templates using your knowledge too, making it a low-code tutorial if you fancy. By the end, you'll have this polished e-commerce site. So what are we waiting for? Let's do it. Okay, so first off, please go ahead and use the URL in the video description to get to this point. This is Wix Studio, so check that out. So let's do it. I'm just going to log in, and this is what my Wix Studio dashboard looks like. So there is a lot to do. As you will notice, this is different from Wix. This is Wix Studio, which is a little bit more advanced and gives you way more features. Okay, it's perfect for those with a little bit of coding knowledge or just those who are maybe more interested in that kind of space. So what I'm going to do is just talk you through it first. With Wix Studio, we can of course build sites, we can build mobile applications, and then we also have custom templates and custom apps that we can choose from. So we can start from scratch, or we can start with a little bit of a template as well. We are going to be doing this with a template. However, I will show you some cool features, such as the AI feature that essentially spins up an application for you. So let's do it. I'm just going to create a new site. I do have a tutorial coming up on creating apps with this soon, so please do check it out on my channel if you are a regular viewer. Or if you're not, please sign up just so you don't miss it. Okay, so we're going to create a Wix website. And like I said, we can start from blank canvas, or you can start from a template. Okay, this kind of looks like this. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So you get to choose a template from all of these if you like one, and then just, change the words, change the images. That is up to you. So for example, you could go ahead and search through all of them as well, or browse by this little drop down here. But like I said, we're not going to be doing this. One other cool thing that I do want to show you is the generated site structure with AI. So if you select this, and then all you would do, this is quite cool, you can go ahead and just fill this in. So I'm going to say cafe, and in here I'm going to say a retro cafe that takes bookings online as well as sells custom coffee equipment and merchandise. Okay, so that could be the description of my business. Here we get to choose the site's main services. So what do we want to lead with? I'm going to say lead with get bookings online. We can also host events on here. Perhaps that is something we will want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and call this Homebrew Coffee. This is located in the United Arab Emirates. And then our target audience is coffee lovers and deli enthusiasts. What makes this business unique? I'm going to say this cafe is inspired by the 90s in Dubai with its nostalgic, locally sourced ingredients. And I guess the main goals of this site are to take bookings and sell custom merchandise. The tone of voice we can choose, I'm going to go with playful, but also respectful. So let's see what happens. So all I would do is click continue. Now we could get the visual sitemap and wireframes. Okay, so this will give us stuff to work with. You'll already get the elements of where the AI thinks everything should go, such as, the products, the booking section, and so on. Or you can have a visual sitemap only. Let's go ahead and do both so we can talk you through it. So I'm just going to click start generating. Okay, so this is now doing its magic, it's doing its thing. And of course, this might be very different to what you get, even if you wrote in the same prompts. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. And there we go. Here is our visual sitemap. So as you can see, here are all the, components that make up the home page that have been generated for me. We have the header. We also have this welcome to Homebrew Coffee, our offerings component, booking services, what our customers say, get in touch, and the footer. So that is the home page. We also have the About Us page, which I really like it. It's got our story, it's got our mission. Maybe I wouldn't have thought to put that in, but now I will, thanks to this AI generation, as well as meet the team and community involvement, which I really like. This might even inspire me to put on more community events. Of course, we have the contact us page with the header, contact information, get in touch on the footer, the privacy policy. Now this is cool. I imagine the privacy policy text would have also been generated for us. So we will check that out when we want to. We can of course add new sections. So these are ones that are already pre-made, or you can use a blank one and do whatever you wish. We also have the accessibility statement, shipping policy, refund policy. So this is all important information, okay? And the text will be generated for you. So once again, you don't need to go find a lawyer to get this. You're gonna have a great template to start with, thanks to AI. Okay, then of course we have the bookings page. This will allow the user to take bookings online. We will configure this as we want for our cafe. We also have a booking calendar, which is quite cool that the user is going to be able to pick from, as well as the service page that shows our services, the booking form, the cart page. Okay, so that is for essentially checking out whatever you purchase on the website. And then of course a thank you page that's just generic. It's just going to say thank you, but we can also customize that as well as a sidecar. So this is just the thing that pops up on the side. We of course then have the members area that I was telling you about, that is for returning members that have signed up if they want to see their previous orders and previous history and stuff like this. And of course we also have this sign up and login modules. So great. Okay, we also have a little status here. This, I guess, helps us track what is done, what is in progress, what is going through iterations, and so on. This is great as a visual reminder, so you don't have to go into each one of these components. Or if you're working in a team, that could be a good use for this as well. So wonderful. And of course, you have all these sections here as well. This is looking so good. Now, if you want to see the pages visually all in one place, a great thing to do is click on the pages here. And once again, now we see the home page. So this is what's been auto-generated For me, welcome to Homebrew, step into our retro-inspired cafe and experience the nostalgic charm of the 90s in Dubai. So basically it's taken our description and generated a whole website from it. So it's asking us, of course, to put pictures in these places, which of course we are going to do because we should have them by now, hopefully. And yeah, it just goes into our service and offerings. So custom equipment, like I said, merch, we love merch, and the online store as well. So great, that's been done. Of course, we can change this if you wish. This is all editable, it's not a problem. So here it's actually asking for our services that we can book. So we need to set that up. That is something we're going to do. It's asking us to put customer reviews and so on. And let's just check that the privacy policy has been generated. Yes, it has. Okay, so this has saved us a ton on like lawyer fees and all that. Of course, it is just a template. So bear that in mind. Please do actually read it and make sure you're happy with it. So that is done for all of these, including the refund policy. That one you should probably definitely look at. You might have your own ideas on your refund policy. Let's look what the book online section looks like too. Great, so you can book here for your services. So services, we're just really gonna have one if of course you are offering other things such as, a hair salon would. You can update all of them here. Okay, let's just have a look at the booking calendar. So this is what the booking calendar looks like. That's what your user will see. And wonderful. So great. Once again, this is what the page looks like. And of course, you can also click on here, and this is kind of the back end. So here's where you create the services that I mentioned. So here it gives you the option to create the 3. You can set your work hours, and you can even connect payment methods so that people can book through your website and the payment can be taken there too. And that's like an option if you want. Another thing I want to show you is the CMS. This is going to help us manage content much easier. So we're going to upload all our images onto here, and you can upload them in collections, which means that you can just call a collection and all of that collection will be displayed on your site. You don't have to go creating, custom cards and arranging that all yourself. No, it's going to be done through the CMS. And finally, you can extend your site's functionality with code. So I did mention this. Again, this is if you want to make tweaks or, add extra functionality. You can do that here. All you have to do is click on the Start Coding button. So great. Of course, this is the AI generated one. I wanted to show you this. You might have had something else generated. That's just how AI works, even if you use the same prompts as I did. Okay? So great, now that I've shown you that, I'm going to shut this down because we're going to be starting from scratch. We're not going to be AI generating, even though you can do, it's just not a very good tutorial if what I've generated is completely different to you. But you've learned that now, so if you'd rather do that, then go ahead. For those who don't, I want to continue coding with me. Let's do it. So once again, I'm going to create a site. I'm going to create a Wix website. And we could start from a blank canvas. That'll give us nothing. However, we're just going to start from a wireframe. So we're going to select wireframe here. Let's not go with a blank canvas. Once again, I'm just doing this because I want us to have the same tutorial, okay, which might not be possible if you AI generate a wireframe version. So what I'm going to do is select e-commerce wireframe. So let's go ahead and edit that. And of course, we can add whatever we want to this. This is just the base. And great, so you should have the exact same thing that I have here. If you click on the visual sitemap, you will have the main page, the about, the contact, the FAQ, terms and conditions, where all of this has been generated for us. Cookie policy, accessibility statement, and the store page. Okay, so once again, we have the category page, the cart, and the side cart there as well. The members page where people can see their previous orders and a sign up and login. Now we can add other things such as a booking, but let's focus on this first and then add the booking in later. So let's do it. I'm just going to go to pages and let's use this wireframe and fill in the blanks. Okay, so first things first, I think what we're going to do is just make this a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to change the color of this. So if you select this and if you click on here, that's the cell, and fill and color opacity. Well, I'm just going to change this to whatever color I want. You can create a theme, so that is something I am going to do. Color 1 can be this. I'm going to change the color purple. And I'm going to paste in a color that I have previously added. So I'm just going to click on here and add that here, so it's already in my theme, and make sure that is at 100. So you can apply a glass effect if you want. You can do a lot, but I'm not going to do that. I'm simply just going to make it this block color. Great. Now, I don't actually want a business name here, so we can get rid of that. Just like so. I just press the delete button and it has now gone. If you click on layers here, it will actually show you all the components inside the header. So we have one cell here and another cell here. I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller for us so we can see everything. So the first cell has the stack, the hamburger icon, which is not visible right now because of course we are in full screen. The hamburger icon only shows up if you're on mobile or a smaller screen, and it will show you all of the menu items. Cell 2 just has this right here. So let's actually go ahead and delete that whole cell. I don't want to see it. So that is now gone. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add media here. I'm going to select the Homebrew logo. Okay, and at the moment it is stretched. I don't really want this. Let's go fixed. And I'm just going to literally just make it smaller and stick it in the middle. So it's super easy to do, and make sure it's centered. So for me, that is what I want the home page banner to look like. You can of course make it bigger or smaller. The functionality on this is amazing. Now let's move on. So as the background of this, I don't really want a background at all. So maybe let's go ahead and make it white. And let's remove that media. Okay, and once again, here's what makes up the welcome area. I'm going to minimize the header for now. So we have a widget here and we have a stack. Now, the stack is made up of an H1 element and a shop now button. So maybe let's keep that. Let's change this. I'm just going to put now open, just like that. Now, we can also add other text elements as well. So perhaps let's just copy paste this. So now that is there. I'm going to drag that here. Let's change this style. I want it to be maybe a heading 2. And I'm just going to change this to lurking in Dubai since 1988. So just like that. And of course you can change the font. So perhaps let's go ahead and do that. Let's change the H2 font to something a little bit thinner. Just going to copy all that, and maybe let's go with Futura. So I'm just going to search through all of these fonts to something I like really, or you can import your own fonts if you don't like any of these. The customization really is amazing. So maybe let's just write Futura. There we go. And I'm going to change this to Futura as well, Futura. Okay, maybe let's just make that bold, however. So here we go. Great, and I like the fact that it says shop now. I think that's a good call to action. So wonderful, I'm happy with the welcome component. Next we have our best sellers. So again, I'm happy with this. We'll fill that out. It's a product list and each cell has actually different things. So the first cell is just the H2 element. Then we have a stack. This stack right here is this text and the shop all. So let's change that here. Make sure to check out our full collections, which will take us to the shop all button. That makes sense. And in our next cell, well, this one right here, we have a grid gallery. So this, like I said, is connected to the CMS, which is just a collection of all of our stuff. We don't have to do any styling or anything here. It will just kind of be populated for us if we do our CMS right. So great, I'm happy to move on. We of course have brands. I don't really think this is something that we want, so I'm just going to delete that one. Okay, just delete it here, or you can hide it if you're not sure. That is also an option too. Just hide it, but you won't delete it from the layers. It'll still exist in the layers. Great, and then we have an about. So we could definitely have an about here. So let's just post something small for now and a learn more button, and here we can have an image. So great, again, this looks good. We can have benefits, or you can change this to whatever you want. Perhaps we don't want benefits, perhaps we want, you know, locations or something like that. So I'm happy with that. Here we can have our featured product. So yep, maybe let's go featured menu items, our top sellers. And again, just some images to put in there, which we have, and our business name. So this is good. This is literally all I'm going to do. Next, I think let's move on to the CMS. So great. This autosave is on. That is wonderful. I'm just going to minimize that. And I'm going to head over to our CMS. So let's start now. Okay, so let's start by adding content. So all I'm going to do is start from scratch and click next. You can import from a CSV, however, then you have to have, your CSV configured right, but it'll save you if you already have all the information in an Excel or something and all the descriptions and all the names, then yeah, you can literally generate hundreds of products in seconds, or you can create it with AI. However, I already have all my own images and my own descriptions, so I'm going to start from scratch. Let's go ahead and call this food. This is going to be a multiple item collection, okay, because we have multiple items of food. And for now, we just have the title. I'm going to add a description. So let's go with text. I'm going to go with description, just like so, and hit save. Well, let's also have an image, right? Because I feel like an image is something that we will have. So one image, you can choose multiple, you can choose so much really, it really is up to you. So this will be image, yep, that is great. So all we need is title, description, image. Perhaps a price is something that you might want to have as well. Okay, so that is up to you. I'm just going to keep it simple. So now let's add an item. So the first one I'm going to do is the Angus roast beef sandwich. Let's put in a description and let's add an image. So I'm just going to select add image. And here I'm actually going to upload a bunch of files so I don't have to keep doing this. Okay, it'll just be all uploaded here and I can essentially access them quicker. Okay, so here I am just uploading all of these files. And great, that is now done. Now, because I named my files well, which is something you should always do, it's now easy for me to find the Angus roast beef sourdough sandwich and add that item to it. You can, edit these items. You can make them squares. Okay, as you can see here, let's select one. Okay, you can crop, edit, you can adjust, you can create video even, you can design with Adobe Express. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but I'm just going to keep it like that for now. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and maybe add 4 more items. We're not going to go crazy, okay, because I'm just showing you how to do it. So once again, I'm going to add an item, smoked turkey sourdough sandwich, add a description, add the image. So once again, this is turkey, right? So we can even search for it like this and it should show up. There we go. So add item there. Next, let's have the double cheese toasty. And let's add a description. And once again, I've already uploaded this. So let's find the cheese toasty. Who doesn't love a cheese toasty? Add item. And one more. You see how quick this is? I mean, honestly, this is making my life so much easier. And the PB&J toasty. So like I said, we've done 4. Of course, you could do way more. And great. We should also add a dynamic page. So this essentially means that if you click on an item, it will just show you a bigger version of it. Okay, so list page and then the item page as well. So I'm going to add that to site. And wonderful. So now we have food. This is on another page completely. It will just show you all the food. Okay, so here's the food list. And like I said, if you click into one of these, it will show you that one image and the description on its own individual page. Great. I'm happy with this. Now you can even align it. So align to top. Okay, so that's aligned to the top now. So they're all aligned to the top. The buttons are, of course, not very aligned now, but do we even want buttons? Who knows? It is up to you. Great. So now let's go back to our homepage and continue. So I'm just going to roll up here. And now let's fill in the blanks. We can essentially add media, or we can manage products. So I choose to manage products, okay, just so everything is kind of centralized and we know where everything is. So instead of adding a picture of a product, it will be an existing product from your inventory. So let's go ahead and create some products. So once again, I'm just going to click in here. Now, I actually don't have many products. I have like one t-shirt that I sell and designed. I'm just going to upload some media of it. Okay, so I actually drew the image on the back. I'm quite proud of it. It's a landscape, a line drawing of Dubai that I then put into Figma. So I'm going to add that here. This is one of my products. You can have a front and a back. So let's just upload the front. Okay, so the more images you have, the better, of course. So here we go. So show this in your online store, correct. Show it in point of sale, correct. We can also edit this. So let's just go with unisex tee, bestseller. Let's put in a description. So this unisex tee comes with a homebrew logo, front, designer Fred walking Dubai skyline, great. And yeah, we've got some generated info. Let's change the price. I'm going to go ahead and just put 80 dirhams. Yeah, you can really go to town on this. You can even allow for a custom text field. Okay, so if you do personalized stuff, like personalized t-shirts, you can do that here too. Pretty cool. And of course, it comes with product options. So I would have this. I'd probably have the size. And then let's do extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, oops, extra large, add. So super simple to do that. Great, you can add an SKU, which I would. This is my first item, and save. So it's really that easy. Like I said, I only have one product. So that is the one that would show up. For the sake of the website, I'm gonna add a few more. These are fake, okay. Let's go ahead and put coffee grinder, a cool coffee grinder. Again, put in a price, 200 dirham. You can add custom text. So maybe you want to add custom text to these coffee grinders. Who knows? The world is your oyster. And of course, an image of a coffee grinder. Let's upload some more images. Okay, so this time let's select the coffee grinder. That's right. It's a coffee grinder and let's click save. So here is our second fake item. Let's do the third one. Again, we're just doing this so it looks good on the site. And this one is going to be, let's do kettle. So we're going to add a kettle, custom kettle. Let's put, I am a custom kettle. 300 dirhams and click save. Okay, and final one. This is going to be ceramic takeaway cups. Ceramic takeaway cups. We are to take away cups. Okay, once again, just totally make up a price for these, done. Another thing, of course, you can do is inventory and shipping. So again, this is SQ4 purely. This has been generated because of the fourth item I added. It's in stock. However, you can also add to track inventory. Okay, so say you have 10 of these, it will just track. If you're sold out, it will say it's sold out. So cool. That is another thing you can do. So wonderful. Now that we have our products, of course, you have the inventory here. So I'm going to click on that and it will tell you how much it has of everything. Of course, I didn't set these. I only set it for this. So here you can see all your inventory. You can, of course, also see your categories. We don't have any categories right now. The only ones we have are the 4 featured products and all the products themselves, but you can create your own categories and then just pick and choose which items you want to add to that. So wonderful. We have our featured products here. I'm happy with that for now. So here, Ta-da! These are our 4 featured products. Like I said, that has been generated for me because we know this is the featured products section. Okay, and in the settings, you can choose which category to display. Like I said, we've selected featured products, but you can choose a different category if you create one. Great. So our website is already looking so good. Here you can have another image if you want. So once again, I'm going to go to layers just to see what is going on and the image. Well, if you go down here, you can change the image. So perhaps I'll just go ahead with the front side of my t-shirt, or you can create an AI image. That is also kind of cool. I'm happy with this for now. Great. Let's move on. The About Me section, well, like I said, I'm happy with that. We have 2 images in here, so that is also something you can do. You can have an image within an image, so that is kind of like a nested image. You can change the focal point, you can mask it. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And whatever the image is, you can zoom in or zoom out. However, we need to choose an image first. So this time, maybe let's create an AI image, just see what shows up. A cool cafe. Great. I'm not going to use this one, however, because I do have my own and I prefer to use my own. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to choose to change image. I've just dragged in 2 more images. So there we go. We have some to choose from. I'm going to go with this one right here. So this is, of course, really, really long. Just going to place it in here like so. And I'm just going to delete that image in the front. So there we go. Here is the only image that I want to have. Okay, great. I think that is looking good. You can use the template or you cannot use the template. I'm going to choose to use the template as intended. So wonderful. Let's move on. Here we're going to have our locations. So once again, you just double click on this and you can edit the text as well. I'm going to go with Azizi, Riviera, Home, Brew Coffee, Azizi, Riviera, 24, Shop 3, Liwan, Home Brew Coffee, Maya, Mall, Shop 8. And then these 2 I'm going to make up. These 2 are real if you want to check it out. That is my cafe. Let's go with DIFC, Home Brew Coffee, DIFC Shop 10. Made up. DIFC is the Dubai International Financial Center, for those of you who are wondering. And again, I'm going to make this up. Let's put the palm. So perhaps some of you know the palm. It's just a kind of spatting off piece of lamb that looks like a palm in Dubai. And once again, I'm just going to make this up. Nakheel Mall Shop 20. The mall. Okay, great. So we also have our featured menu items. Again, here, well, we're just going to add media here. This time, I am just going to add some images. Okay, let's go ahead and choose this, just purely because that's not on our menu. You can add whatever images you wish. Let's do another one. So let's choose perhaps this one right here. Okay. And then you can move it around. Don't know what happened to that other one. Maybe let's delete it. Change image. That's right, let's have this croissant. Change image. Let's have this toast. And change image. Let's have this avocado on toast. Great, so these are our featured menu items, top sellers. You can't click on them, they're just images. You have to click the explore page and this will take you to, well, whatever you want. So to link this, you can take it to a page. Which page? Category page or a product page, that is up to you. Do I want it to go to featured products? Well, that will take me to the featured products of my merchandise. So let's go to the food list dynamic and done. So now that will take us to the food list instead. And you can have some text here or you can just delete it. I'm going to choose to delete it. So once again, I'm just clicking on the text and clicking the delete button. I just think that looks better. It is up to you. Wonderful. And we are now done. Okay, how easy was that? I'm going to go ahead and click publish. For now, I am just going to choose to use the free Wix domain. So let's save and continue. And now if I go to this URL, view site, ta-da! This is what my web page looks like at the moment. If you hover over this, it will show you the alternative images. Of course, I only have 2. If you go to shop all, it will show you all the products. Okay, so here's our 4. This one's on sale apparently, and all the products that I did not yet add. We can of course edit this page too. Let's go back. We have the about where you can learn more, and this will take you to the about page. We have our locations, and we have our featured menu items as well as the business name and everything else, and an option to join the newsletter. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm just going to go with Anya at codewithanya.com because I want to show you what happens on the back end. So we've just done that. This is looking good, and of course we can log in. So let's just pretend that I want to make a purchase. So let's go ahead and click on the unisex tee. So here we are, here's the unisex tee. Let's say I want a small size and I want 2. I would simply add to my cart, okay, and this will add to my side cart. Here we go, and I can check out, or you can choose to buy now. But of course, I just added this to my cart. Let's go ahead and view my cart and let's check out. For now, we can't accept orders because we haven't really completed everything, but this is what the seamless checkout experience looks like at the moment. So let's continue. Hopefully I've shown you enough about the CMS now, as well as how to create dynamic lists. Let's just go ahead and see that dynamic list once more. So that's what we did for the food, if you remember. Let's explore that. And here is our food list. So we have these 4 items here, and if I click on one, it shows me the whole page. So again, we can edit this if we wish. We can also go to the next item and we just see a larger version of that image. Basically, the whole page is dedicated to that item. Okay, so great. Here is our menu items. Of course, you can't purchase online. We're not going to deliver them to you. The merchandise you can. This is just like an online menu. Wonderful. So now let's go back. So we've covered a lot. A few other things I want to cover is, like I said, getting the checkout experience working well as adding a way to add bookings. So let's do it. I'm going to go back to my Wix editor. So here under my business, we have the Wix stores. We're still yet to define shipping regions and connect payment methods. So maybe let's define regions first, set up shipping. Dubai is correct. Let's add a payment method. Confirm. I'm going to choose to connect to Stripe. So you're going to have to sign up for a Stripe account if you want to accept credit or debit payment cards, or you could just do PayPal, or you could take manual payments. Okay, that means accept cash. I wouldn't really choose to do this. There are more payment options, okay, like Xena, that is quite popular now. But let's go ahead and just do Stripe. So I'm going to connect to Stripe. You have to obviously sign up to a Stripe account. So make sure you do that first. This isn't covered in the tutorial. Just go to the Stripe website and go through all the documentation in order to do this. You will have to connect to a premium Wix Studio account to do this. That is also something to keep in mind. So hopefully I just showed you how to do this and where to go, and you can take it from here. Again, this is outside of the scope of the tutorial. Great. Now let's figure out a way to take bookings. So I'm just going to go to the app market and let's choose bookings, select bookings, and we're going to choose Wix bookings. There are other ones that we can choose, but of course we're just going to use the generic Wix bookings. So I'm going to add that to my site. Okay, so this is essentially how you'd add bookings to the template you have already, which is an e-commerce site. There are many other apps to choose from, okay? However, the scope of this tutorial is to make an e-commerce site where you can buy merchandise as well as make bookings. So that is what we are doing. So great, a new page has been generated for me with our services. Again, we can manage services. So this takes us to a kind of dashboard, a kind of back end where we can put all our services. Great, so here we have some templates we can use. Is it virtual consultation? No. Returning client? No. None of these really fit. Is it a class? Well, it is going to be a class. These are more kind of fitness classes, however. So not really that. Maybe it's more of a workshop. However, it is not online. Let's just edit this. Or you can make them from scratch. So I'm going to say this is a barista course. Learn barista tricks in 1 hour. So this is more for like home, right? You're not going to learn how to be barista 1 hour. So maybe it's good to also do that. Learn barista tricks for your home in this fun class. So maybe let's just do class as well. You can have a course, okay? There's so many templates that you had. Is there a max participant? You can also have that. Is there a fixed price? Sure, we can do that. Let's do entire amount in person, or you could either do it online, okay, or you could pay a deposit. That part's up to you. If you have your Stripe or your PayPal set up correctly, then that is an option too. I'm just going to go with entire amount in person for now. You can, of course, add a location. So let's save this for now and let's add a business location. So once again, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do just my coffee shop. So let's maybe search for it. Hobby Brew Coffee Azizi, there we go. Of course, it already exists, so that has been generated for me. You might have to put in your own, and we can have some contact details. That's probably a good idea. So let's go with info@homebrew.ae050. I'm gonna make up that number and save the changes. So great. So obviously, because my location for my coffee shop already existed online, that was super easy. But yeah, that is how you would do it. You can also add an option to video conference. There really is a lot. So now you can essentially add when sessions get booked. So this is kind of more of a calendar. You can decide which staff member does it. So again, if you have more than one staff member, you can add it to the system. And yeah, let's just say that this course starts on one date only. So the 4th of March at 7 a.m. and save. And you can add more, you can add whatever you want. You can also add sessions. So I could maybe have another one if I want on the 11th of March. It really is up to you. And people can book them as they need. Great. So once again, to unlock this feature, you will have to upgrade. So that is just something you need to be aware of. However, if I want to see the schedule, this is what it looks like. Okay? Wonderful. This is looking good. So we've covered booking services. You can even have gift cards if you want. The options are really endless. Now, if I go to customers and leads, you might remember that we added an email address to the form. So now if I go here, that email address should show up in my contacts. And it does. So basically all your customers, anyone who signs up to the newsletter will be here, and you can essentially email them too. You could create an email campaign. Okay, so definitely explore that. Again, outside of the scope of the tutorial, there really is so much you can do. There's a loyalty program even, okay? How amazing is that? You can reward your loyal customers. I mean, I'm just like mind blown about how much you can do with this. But again, I digress, not part of the tutorial. Let's go back to editing our site. So here we go. Once again, I'm really happy with this. It's probably easier to view it on here and just kind of, you know, any bugs you have. I'm just going to show you what this would look like on mobile. So here we have the hamburger menu. Like I said, you can even edit that. And now, things that I would probably do If you like the animations, you can keep them. Let's go to explore, food list. I would probably change the wording of this to not say start now. So let's go ahead and do that. Pages. Dynamic pages, food list. Let's go to the layers, stack. Click on the button, change text, show. I think that's a better button to have. And then on the food item list as well, I remember seeing this right here. Wasn't a fan of this. You can change the background color of this, so I'm just going to make it white. Let's just make this white as well. Again, maybe this is something you want to edit in the theme colors. Okay, so every time you see this color, perhaps we just want to make it white, and that will apply the changes everywhere too. Let's just click on that, find the color and change it to black, and change the color of this as well. So find the color, black. Great, let's publish this. And now let's refresh this page. Great, click show. And that just looks so much better to me. Wonderful. Once again, the all my products page, I would simply go in here, category page. So manage products, categories, all products. Let's edit this. All products is fine as the name. Let's change the category image, or you can just delete it. However, I'm going to choose to have this banner. Okay, great, and save. Cool. So now that background has been changed. Wonderful. This filter is cool. I'm just going to publish that again. And in general, I'm quite happy with how all of this is looking. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to tweak this however you want. This recommended or price low to high option is pretty cool. One final thing I'm going to do is just show you how to log in. So here's the sign up modal. You can choose to sign up with Google. Once again, if you choose to do this, this will then be a contact in your backend that you can manage. So great, now you will see that I am logged in, and you'll show you my account, my orders, my addresses, my wallets, my bookings, and so on. So this is pretty cool that you could do that with Google. Okay, ta-da, here's my password too. My orders, which I don't have any, my addresses, which of course as a user I'm yet to update, my wallet, which saves your payment details, and my bookings, which again I don't have any, but we can now make them too. Wonderful. And once again, here is my cart. Let's add the bookings, so a place to essentially make bookings here, and then I'm going to show you where to go to deploy this. So back to the home. I think a great place to put the booking, so let's go back here. Let's go to the pages. We have a book online page and a book form. Let's just have a look at what this looks like. So at the moment, we just have one service. However, we need to get there. So I think we need to edit the menu. So let's click on the menu itself, manage menu. And I'm simply going to add an item. It's going to be an app page. It's going to be a book online. Okay, we don't really want to show the calendar, I think. Let's just have the book online page. So that is now added, and let's publish it. So now if we go back here, and of course we have to hit refresh, we can now book online too. Okay, so here is our services, book now. So then I would be able to book it if I, of course, upgraded the Wix Studio package. So wonderful, this is now nearly done. We've published it here. And if we click on upgrade, we would then remove the Wix Studio branding, would be able to accept the online payments that we set up, and we would also get a free domain for 1 year. So you can do that, you can upgrade. Of course, it's up to you. I would first maybe spend some time getting comfortable with the Wix website. I've talked you through how to add your own merchandise that you can buy online. I've also talked you through how to add items that you don't want to purchase, that you just want to display, so like a collection. And I've also showed you how to create bookings and take bookings, and where you can view them and where you can manage them, and so on. So great, here's where you'd go in order to essentially upgrade, so you get all those features and get a free domain as well. So wonderful. I'm really happy with this. Once again, here is the wireframe, which is now updated with the new apps and new pages that we added. Okay, so this is all new, of course, as is this. Great. And as a reminder, if you want to manage your business, just go ahead and click here. You can see your bookings. So of course, at the moment, we haven't set this up because we need to upgrade. And if you go back to the Wix Studio dashboard, you will see your sales, where you see all the orders. You will now have a booking calendar where you can see all your bookings, you can manage your bookings, you can manage which staff member even takes them. And of course, you'll have your customers and your leads, of which we have 2 at the moment now. Okay, one from the newsletter and one who signed up to our app as a new user. So great, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was useful, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment below and I'll hopefully get back to you.